Alright guys, welcome to part 3 of the Roadblock End of the Line pay-per-view. This will be the final part, of course. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. We are going to start this episode off with some fatal 4-way action. Out first on their way to the ring, representing the New Day, it will be New Day's powerhouse in Big E. Again, it'll be fatal 4-way action, this is more of a filler match. I think I mentioned that towards the end of part 2. We're going to see if some superstars can continue to move up the weekly power rankings. So Big E representing the New Day, former Raw Tag Team Champions, looking to pick up a victory here in singles competition. Kofi and Xavier not out here accompanying him in this matchup. Big E doing it on his own. We'll see what he can do. We know he is a freakishly strong and agile athlete for someone his size, so he'll fare well on his own definitely. So we're going to see who his other 3 opponents are as Big E dances around in the ring. The crowd getting hyped for this matchup, and out next will be someone who's probably not the most liked person on the Raw roster right now, especially following Hell in a Cell. The Bulgarian Brute Rusev, currently being investigated by the Fashion Police, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango. And supposedly, there's the footage there, so honestly, they'll figure that out still. But there was one camera during that main event that was able to see Rusev walk down to the ring while the power was out during the main event of the pay-per-view between Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho. Caused a major distraction that Seth Rollins took advantage of, became the Universal Champion. That's where we're at now for the most part. But we'll get to the rest of that whole shenanigans and storyline in the main event. So Rusev, in a way, trying to redeem himself or prove himself innocent in this matchup. Again, we heard from Tyler Breeze during the last episode of Raw that they are inching closer to proving that Rusev was the culprit. So we're going to see if and when Breezango are able to crack the case and solve it and bring Rusev to justice. But until then, Rusev has to win this triple threat match if he wants to remain credible and prove that he is possibly innocent. But Dolph Ziggler out next, third person in this matchup. The show off has been on a roll, was part of Team Raw's Survivor Series elimination tag team match, the main event. He was definitely a crucial part in Raw defeating SmackDown Live, breaking that tie in the main event match, of course. Ziggler, along with the reunited Shield, were able to oust Finn Balor and the rest of the Balor Club in that matchup. This was the 4th person in this match, and it looks like it will be the Drifter Elias. Again, he's not assigned to Raw or SmackDown specifically. He, no pun intended, drifts between shows and just kind of appears wherever he feels like it for the time being. But Elias, also a superstar that's been on a roll of late, looking to possibly earn. The last time he was in this situation, he also won that, I believe it was a fatal 4-way match as well. So Elias has been basically probably on the most underrated role of someone on the SmackDown or Raw rosters of late. Definitely someone who doesn't want to be overlooked. I definitely know he's there. And if he could win this fatal 4-way as well, the WWE Universe has to at least have some respect for the Drifter with what he's been doing of late. So we're going to get this fatal 4-way action underway. Big E, Rusev, Dolph Ziggler, and Elias make for an interesting matchup. Definitely a lot of ego going around, especially between Rusev and Elias. as they go at it. Big E smart to leave the ring. Ziggler follows after him, throws Big E right into the apron. Rusev taken down there by a kick from Elias, who focuses now on the member of the New Day. Ziggler goes after Rusev. Big E in a headlock from Elias. Gets dragged towards the corner barricade. Big E in some trouble. Knee to the midsection of Elias. Hit with a spine buster. Big E not starting off this match the way he would have liked. Rusev now kick to the midsection of Big E. Ziggler in trouble. Elias with some stomps to the chest. Big left hand. Rusev takes Big E down again. And it looks like Elias and Big E are... Or no, Elias and Rusev were just about to double team Big E for a moment. Turns it around and gets Elias into the ring. Kick right to the lower back. Big E turning things around here. Elbow to the top of the head. Ziggler gets back into the ring. Gets taken down. Or takes down Big E, going after Rusev. Elias to the second rope. Ziggler picks Rusev up. Rusev just pushes him right down as if he was a ragdoll or something. Double axe handle to Big E. Elias in control. Rusev rolls out under the bottom rope. Ziggler tossed over the top rope by Elias. Rusev pursuing the Drifter, gets back in, turns his attention to New Day's powerhouse once again. Big E with some offense in now. Focusing on the Bulgarian brute. Big right hand, kicks to the midsection. Big leaping DDT takes Rusev down. Nice scoop slam. Big E in some trouble there. Rolls under the bottom rope. Ziggler targeting the right arm of Elias. All four men finally back into the ring. Big E in some trouble. Hit off the apron. Rusev with a vicious right hand. Ziggler takes control of the ground game against Elias. Stomp right to the face. Rusev in control now. Going up top. This is not going to be good for somebody. Big E in trouble. Hits the elbow drop and he connects on Big E's chest. Speaking of chest, Elias targeting Ziggler's chest there with some vicious stomps in the corner. Goes for a cover on the show off. Rusev in, breaks it up. Ziggler rolls out of the ring. Elias onto the apron. Blocks whatever Rusev was trying to do there. Hits him with a right hand. Elbows to the back. Into the swinging neck breaker. Into an immediate cover. 1, 2, and Rusev just barely kicks out. And Big E takes Elias out, seemingly saving Rusev just to shoulder tackle him. Dolph in for the cheap cover there. Big E takes him down, knee from behind. Going for a roll up on Ziggler. Hands under the rope, forces a rope break. Spinning heel kick misses by Rusev. Swinging neck breaker to Big E by the show off. Elias still on the outside, trying to get back into the ring. And all four men colliding there. Big E over the top rope. Rusev goes after him. Elias focusing his attack back on Ziggler. Big forearm to the face of Rusev. Elias in cover. Ziggler again. Big E breaks it up. Takes him down with the knee. Big right hand. Swinging neckbreaker. No, he goes into a float over DDT instead. Rusev with a modified crossface on Ziggler. Elias breaks it up. Big E outside of the ring still picking up Rusev. Hits him with a backbreaker. Ziggler back up to his feet. Big right hands mounting a bit of a comeback. Elias shuts that down quickly. Nice snap suplex there by the Drifter. Big E gets back in the ring. Waiting for his spot. Goes to break up whatever Elias is doing. Hits Ziggler with a clothesline. Takes him down. Big E gets into the ring. Or Rusev gets into the ring. Big E takes him right down quickly. Over the head, belly to belly, takes Elias down. Rusev up to his feet. Picks him up, sets up for the big ending, and he hits it. Rusev in trouble. Elias trying to get up. 1, 2, and no, Elias gets in there in the nick of time. Breaks up that pin attempt. Ziggler throws Elias into the ropes, hits him with a nice drop kick. Elias rolls out of the ring. Shoulder tackle to Ziggler. All four men having a great showing in this matchup. They've all come close to winning it. Takes Rusev down, rolls him up. 1, 2, and no. Rusev gets out of it. Elias gets back into the ring. Big E in trouble. Ziggler now with some offense on Elias. Hits him with a neck breaker. Elias in trouble now. Big E rolled out from under the top rope. Basement slide drop kick to Elias. Picks him right up. Rusev just waiting. Hits the Famouser on Elias. Big headbutt there by Rusev. Picking up the Drifter and slamming him right down. Turns him over. Big E intercepts whatever Rusev was trying to do to Elias. Overhead belly to belly. Big E drop kicked in the corner by Rusev. Another float over DDT. The Drifter now in control. Big E in the corner. Rusev rolling out. Ziggler still on the other side of the ring outside. All four men definitely proving their worth here. Another over the head belly to belly suplex. Ziggler gets back in. Gets hit with some knees by Big E. Picks him up. Setting up Ziggler for the big ending. And he plants him. Elias takes Big E down. Rolls out of the ring. Cover on Dolph Ziggler. 1, 2, 3. And Elias again. He did this the last time he was in a fatal 4-way. Picked up the victory after picking up the scraps. Following a finisher by somebody else. Gets Big E out of the ring. Rusev was just getting into the ring. He was able to pin the show off. And Elias again continuing this tremendous momentum he's been having, especially in multi-man matches. Over the last couple months he's been coming through and pretty much becoming a multi-man match master, so to speak. So the Drifter is victorious to kick off Part 3 of the roadblock end of the line pay-per-view. We're going to move into the final match of the show and tonight's main event. Time for the main event here to wrap up the roadblock end of the line pay-per-view. Definitely be sure to drop a like and a comment if you are enjoying this pay-per-view as a whole, or this specific part, or any of the other two parts of this pay-per-view thus far. So main event time, of course, Chris Jericho using his rematch for the Universal Championship against the architect of the Shield in Seth Rollins, the current Universal Champion. Again, to continue off of what we said earlier in the episode when Rusev was making his entrance in that fatal 4-way, Jericho and Rollins was the match that Rusev caused that power outage in. Supposedly he got into the cell as well and caused some chaos in there, but you see that one camera that had like night vision on it and stuff showed Rusev walking down the ramp towards the cell structure. So Breezango has been investigating that ever since. Chris Jericho has definitely not been happy since losing that title, especially in the matters that it happened in, with Rusev possibly being the reason why. So we're going to see if Jericho, in his final chance at the Universal Championship for the time being, can reclaim it from Seth Rollins. It's not going to be much of an easy task. I've been saying that as a tagline the last few weeks with stuff, but now since the Shield is reunited on their way to the ring, the Universal Champion has his two Shield brethren at ringside with him, or he will, as they make their way through the crowd, as they're famously known for Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and of course the Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. If you haven't dropped a like on this video and this episode already, definitely do so if you are excited for this Universal Championship matchup. Again, Jericho has to have eyes on all sides of his head if he wants to reclaim the Universal Championship. You got to keep an eye out for the Big Dog and the Lunatic Fringe. The Shield have been making statement after statement since reuniting at Survivor Series to pretty much save Monday Night Raw from Vince McMahon changes and pretty much saving Edge his general manager job in the process. Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins, the Universal title on the line. Chris Jericho looking to become a two-time Universal Champion. Seth Rollins looking to continue his reign. Bit of sign of respect. They both know that match at Hell in a Cell ended with a bit of controversy, so some respect between these two. Seth Rollins doesn't keep that going for too much longer. Flurry of right hands to Jericho. Goes for a snap vertical suplex. Seth Rollins gets out of it, hits him with a single leg drop kick. The Architect in control early on. Jericho was probably not expecting that flurry of offense right out of the gate, but with the Architect of all people, you gotta be ready for just about anything that Rollins can throw at you. Flips out of that. Side slam backbreaker. Jericho in trouble. Seth Rollins already setting him up for a turnbuckle power bomb into the corner, and he connects. Rollins going up top. Jericho clutching his lower back as that was just driven into the turnbuckle. Seth deciding against the top rope maneuver at this moment. Gets out of whatever Jericho was trying to do to him there. Quick roll up there by Rollins. Forces the rope break. Jericho again started off this way early in the Hell in a Cell match. It's been taking Jericho a little while to get going in a match, especially against Seth Rollins. Hits a nice brain buster, turns that vertical suplex into a brain buster rather. Y2J now trying to get some offense in. Big slap to the face, disrespecting the Universal Champion. Yes, that sign, that handshake, that sign of respect prior to this matchup is out the window now. Jericho second rope, hits the leaping senton. Jericho turning things around, was going for the walls of Jericho. Seth with a big reversal there, changing it into a DDT. Schoolboy super kick. You see Ambrose and Reigns in Seth's corner. Big super kick right to the face of the future Hall of Famer Chris Jericho. The crowd chanting Y2J right now. Jericho fired up, has Rollins in the corner, vicious chop right to the chest. That tactical vest does absolutely nothing against the chop like that. Big takedown there. Shoulder tackle again of Rollins. Over the top rope goes Jericho. Going to the top. Rollins turns around, double axe handle. Jericho feeling it now. Again, we mentioned it moments ago. Lately been taking him a little while to get things going in a matchup. Nice roll through, an arm drag reversal by the Architect. Picks up Jericho, big right hand from Y2J. He's going for the walls of Jericho once again, changed into a DDT. Seth cementing his offense in this portion of the matchup. Big left hand by Jericho. These guys just slugging it out. They know each other very well. Big knee to the top of the head. Drop kick again. Rollins fired up. Wants to continue his reign as Universal Champion. Big right hands. Jericho in trouble up against the ropes. Big chop to the chest. Hits the DDT. Jericho turns the tide of this matchup, signaling for the end of Rollins. Big knee to the chest. Rollins now has him against the ropes. Irish whip, ducks under. Another drop kick by the Architect. Jericho in trouble. Kick to the midsection, off the ropes. Hits the blackout curb stomp. Jericho down, might be out cold. 1, 2. And no, Jericho kicks out at 2. Rollins thought he had him. Jericho showing off his resilience here late in this matchup. Big strike to the knee. Nice takedown by Rollins, targeting that left arm. You can see Reigns fired up on the outside. Another kick to the midsection. Jericho going for that same move earlier. Doesn't connect. Knee strike in the corner. Big Dog feeling it. And you see Ambrose there as well. Big kicks to the midsection. Backbreaker side slam there. Y2J shaking off some of the damage from throughout this matchup. Picks up Rollins. Going for a power bomb. Another nice follow through reversal there by the Architect. Big reversal there by Jericho. Seth in trouble, hits the code breaker. Might have just busted Rollins wide open. Picks him up. Big reversal there by Rollins. Kick to the midsection again. Turns the tide of this match. It hits the blackout curb stomp a second time. Both men now busted open. Rollins doesn't go right into the pin as he was stunned after the move. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Seth Rollins remains the Universal Champion. Jericho put up one heck of a fight, probably his best matchup so far. Started off a little off his rocker there. Mounted comeback in the middle, but Rollins was just too much for Y2J this evening. He hit the code breaker but didn't follow through completely. Rollins kind of lucked out there. Hits a couple blackout curb stomps. Remains the Universal Champion, and the Shield remain on top of Monday Night Raw. That'll conclude things here from Roadblock End of the Line pay-per-view. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and we'll see everybody next time.